All right, guys, how's it going? In this video, we're going to be talking about Anthony Gordon. Many of you wondering if maybe he will be Anfield bound. What we're going to be talking in this video about is the latest comments from Eddie Howe. All right, now, if you followed me over the summer, ever since this news came out that Liverpool, had tried to negotiate a deal with Anthony Gordon, people were saying, do you think, it could still happen, though? And obviously, just going from my opinion, I've always thought that if it was going to happen, maybe it would happen right at the death of the window, like literally the last couple of days, even deadline day, which is not what we usually do. But I don't know, it's just I had that little feeling that might happen. However, I also thought that the future of Luis Diaz would be a contributing factor to that. So if he was sold to Barcelona, maybe it was more likely to happen. But then Newcastle have sorted their, they're not under pressure anymore, the financial rules and demands and all that. So they're not in a need to sell situation now. So again, it's all these things are kind of going against the possibility of it happening. But and some people would say, no, they're not going to do business at the end of the window, because they haven't got time to get replacements and there's premiums on it and stuff like that. And I understand all that. I do know a little bit about this stuff, trust me. And but I don't know, I just always thought if we were going to go for him, it would be at the end of the window, right? Maybe a cheeky bid at the end of the window. But we still got Luis Diaz and they're not under pressure. So in recent weeks, my opinion changed slightly. I thought that was a fly on my arm. It's a bit of my chair. It's the arm on the chair. Sorry, I hate flies, you know what I mean? If I saw a fly, I'd start screaming like a big baby. Like, you fucking... Anyway, so in the last couple of weeks, I kind of bolted on, like a little bit more to how I was feeling. Like, well, guys, now I'm thinking that maybe we could revisit this situation in a future transfer window, because Newcastle are not under pressure. Luis Diaz is still with the club. Liverpool clearly like him. And I just started to think that. I don't know about you, but I thought maybe it's, if the transfer window closes and he's not a Liverpool player, he's still at Newcastle, I don't think it's necessarily dead, is what I'm trying to say here. That's the opinion that I've had with you for a few weeks. Now, Eddie Howe has been speaking about the situation, and I think his comments kind of back up what I'm feeling, right? So, he said initially, he's such an important player for us, we didn't want to lose anybody. Why would we want to lose our best players? We fought really hard to make the right decisions. In those last few weeks of June, it was very, very difficult. The rules forced us to do things we didn't want to do. We didn't want to lose any of the players sold. Now, this is the bit where it gets a little bit interesting, I think. There's not necessarily financial pressure to lose anybody before the end of this window, but player trading is key, and we have to trade players out as well as players in. That's not necessarily in the next 2 weeks, but certainly within the next window. That's what we'll have to do, not what we might do, we'll have to do. So they have to sell in the next window. And it just, for me, that just like kind of backs up my thoughts. Like, as it's gone along, Luis Diaz has stayed, they're not under pressure anymore. We have to keep an eye on his situation, see what happens with his contract situation. I think the player would really like the opportunity to come and play for Liverpool. And I think that can be, quite an important element. But it's also, people say, oh, he's going to force a deal and that. I don't think you'd want to antagonise those Newcastle fans. They're very loyal supporters. And, they keep coming on my channel saying, you're all deluded, he's going nowhere. And that's fine, you're going to be loyal to your player and that. I don't know, we try to keep it a little bit real. We're not being disrespectful to your club. We're just talking about a situation that we could see happening at some point. There are many Liverpool supporters that think he's overrated. I think he's overvalued, for example. But let's say they want 75 million. Maybe next year it would have to accept a lower amount than that, So I think it's one to keep an eye on, guys. I really do. I know some of you think he's overrated. I know some of you think he's got great potential. And would be an ideal addition to the squad, as Rafa Benitez would say, for sure. But that's up to you guys to argue out in the comments with each other respectfully as to whether you rate him or not. I'm not really, I don't know, I like him, I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's worth what Newcastle were trying to squeeze out of us. So I'm glad Liverpool didn't agree to that. But anyway, Eddie, the reason for the video, of course, is it's not about my opinion so much. It's about Eddie Howe's opinion. And he's saying that, you know, we've still got to trade. You know, the pressure's not there. We've still got to do business. We still have to sell players. Maybe not in the next couple of weeks, but certainly in the next window, we have to. Or the, you know, the forthcoming windows. I personally will continue to watch the Anthony Gordon thing. I don't, you know, I'm not saying anything on it, but I don't know, guys. I'm not a Twitter twat ITK. I don't know. But what I will do is I'll keep an eye on things. But I do think that we're going to go right up to deadline day this year. Even if we don't do anything on deadline day, there will be so many rumours, so much speculation. It will be a frenzy online on deadline day, I think. It's just an absolute nightmare the next 9 days from my point of view, because I know when I leave this house it'll all fucking kick off, and today I want to go for a beer, you know, so I hope it in today. I know that's selfish, but let's do it one of the other days. And deadline day, we will be live on here from the very first thing in the morning right to the end. As long as you can keep me topped up on coffee and keep me entertained, we will be live on here throughout the day like we usually are. I think last year we did 17 hours and 16 minutes. I'm not sure we'll beat that. Spectre. Spectre's someone that, Spectre is KopTalk TV's greatest moderator, I'll have you know. And he informs me we've got 17 hours and 16 minutes to beat. I can't believe I was sat in this chair for that fucking long last year. Well, I must have been off my tits or something, I don't know. Not on drugs, I don't do drugs. Never done drugs. No, I'm fucking mental enough as it is, just on alcohol. All right, the strongest thing I'm having today is water and lemon. And it's nice too. All right, guys, I'll leave it with you. If you've got any opinions, do let me know. If you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. Drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, hit the super thanks button. It's the love heart under the video. If it doesn't work or you want to use another method, there's other ways of supporting me in the channel. Video description, is that right? Video description, yeah, something like that. But anyway, yeah, I'm more interested in hearing what you've got to say and you thumbsing up my video, because all the kids say that's the thing that you need to do. You know, they put them little graphics, don't they? Like, ping, subscribe. Nah, we're going to fuck around doing that. Just do as you're fucking told and like the video, all right? Otherwise you'll be jinxed forever. Just telling you, all right? All right, speak to you in a bit, guys. All right.